Hi garden friends. So I'm walking past our habitat garden because the project I want you to work on this week is to imagine, brainstorm, and maybe start to design this area here. So we have our willow house, we have our habitat garden, we have our story tree, we have our classroom over there, we've got the vegetable and fruit garden. All of that's developed, and all of this space is just empty, right? We have so much space. Do you see how far that fence is? I actually measured it on Google Earth, and it's 300 feet from here to the end. 300 feet all the way over there. And then between the building here to the fence, that's 20 feet. I wonder if some of my older friends can figure out like the area and the perimeter. If you imagine a rectangle that is 300 feet by 20 by 300 by 20, right? So imagine that rectangle has two sides that are 20 and two sides that are 300. What would the area in the perimeter be? So what I need you to do this week is I need you to start brainstorming ideas for how our school can use this space. Now we can already use it, right? I know some classes go outside to check the temperature, check the weather, use the solar oven for a variety of other purposes. But it kind of looks messy, right? I mean, it doesn't look very attractive. It's not a pretty space like what we have over here. So I'm hoping to get your ideas, and you don't necessarily have to come up with an idea for the entire huge space. You could say, okay, I'm going to plan this little section from, say, the willow house to right here at the end of this classroom. So that's maybe a 30 by 20 spot. Like, what would we do in this first section that's by our preschool rooms? Or maybe you want to work on the next section, which are by some of our first and second grade rooms. What could we use here? So your ideas can be gardening. Maybe you want to learn about weather. Maybe you want to develop a weather station that would have an outdoor thermometer and a sturdy rain gauge, and maybe some way to determine which direction the wind is blowing. Maybe a monitor so that we can tell the wind speed ourselves. So there's one idea. Maybe we can have a weather station. Maybe we could have like a soil studies section where we can move earth around and see what the impact is of water on soil. Maybe we can plant some fruit trees. Maybe we need some sitting areas where we do wildlife observation. So that's your project for this week. And it's going to be a project that our school will be working on probably for a couple of years. Like, we are not going to be able to develop this really big space just in 1 year. It's going to take a while. So I'm looking for student input because your voice is what's most important here. It's really important to all of the teachers and staff at University Elementary that we know that we're supporting our students and your creative ideas. We are project-based, and so this is a school-wide project to develop the space back here. Let's see. I don't want to give you too many examples or ideas because really what I want to hear are your original ideas. You don't have to just say, oh, you said a weather station, so let's do a weather station. Like, that's one of my ideas. But I want to hear what you're interested in learning about, what you want to do hands-on wise. And then also, particularly for my older students, what I want you to do is once you come up with an idea, you're going to draw it. Maybe you can describe it in a couple of sentences or a paragraph. And then make a list of things you think we're going to need. So if you wanted to do like a wildlife observation station, what kind of things would we need? Would we need binoculars or magnifying glasses? Maybe tables, maybe something to sit on. What would we need? So after you come up with your idea, draw some pictures, make sure you make like a materials list. And it doesn't have to be completely inclusive right now because this is our first brainstorm. We're just getting started on these ideas. But if you could help me out this way, just imagine if all of this whole back area looked as beautiful as our habitat garden and our fruit and veggie garden. Wouldn't that be nice? We would have so much more outdoor space for all of our classes to use. And that's the goal. Maybe we could have we could make another story circle like we have at our story tree. Trees do take a while to grow, so it would be a while before another tree would provide this much beautiful shade. But it's not a bad goal, a long-term goal for us to do. So maybe that's something to consider. I'm so excited to hear your ideas of how you want to develop this space and what we can do there. So draw pictures, write me a few sentences if you can, and make a materials list. Let's see what your imagination can come up with. I'm so excited. Be sure and share with your teacher on Seesaw and or talk to me on the Garden Flipgrid. I am really looking forward to your ideas. Thanks, garden friends.